All right, we're live. Tapping Birdie, Scottish Open, Barbasol Classic week. Here with the properest of blokes, my WhatsApp friend, great dude. This is his Super Bowl, I hope. Scottish Open week. Tom Jacobs, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, it's got. I mean, it's gonna be Super Bowl week if England win the Euros, right? I mean, that's the low hanging fruit. It's gonna be a good couple of weeks. It's almost a year since we celebrated the Brian Harman win over WhatsApp,
Yes.
right? Always like to remind everybody. Like, whenever anyone asks me if we had a winner, I just say, "Look, Brian Harman won the Open." That's all I care
Yeah,
about. Look,
by 6 shots. We
who
were
cares?
on it.
Who cares about all the others since then? Like, not interested. Brian Harman won. So, yeah, it's an exciting week. Good week for the DP World Tour players to kind of immerse themselves in bigger fields, and then they've obviously got the chance to go and do it at the the Isco Championship now. I mean,
Isco Championship.
That's a footballer. That's not a.
Who's Isco? What club team is he on?
He used to play for Real Madrid. I don't know who he plays for now, but he's like not very good anymore. But he used to be like Spain and Real Madrid, and now he's just kind of a footballer.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, some weeks, I just have guests on, whatever, it's fine. You're an absolute perfect fit for this week. I feel like the stars are aligning. You handicap and love the DP World Tour. We got a bunch of DP World Tour guys. It used to be a DP World Tour event. We have the Isco Championships. I know you love some shitty golfers. Like, yeah. I know you're someone like myself that enjoys these weaker fields. I mean, the field is bleak. It's very tough. But we got the England in the semis of the Euro coming up. Yep. Everyone knows I have a special connection to England soccer, obviously.
As a proper bloke, you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, a proper bloke. I mean, this is it. I mean, what is the scene going to be like Wednesday during the day leading in? Like, how much work will be done collectively in London on that Wednesday? Like, is everyone just gonna booze the entire day, just waiting for kickoff?
I think they've got it okay because it's 8 p.m. kickoff over here. So if it was the 5 p.m., I don't think much work's getting done at all. I think there's a lot of boozing going on. But there's a good period between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. where people can get off of work and get their booze in. Now, my job involves me being quite heavily involved with writing Euros content, so I need to be on the ball, as it were, for the day at least. But no, it's good. I mean, we've watched it in sort of 3 different scenarios now. The football. I've either been at home. I've had one pub visit with Pat Mayo and Jack Humphrey for the Danish game, and then went with the boys to the pub last week. So lots of different scenarios. I think I'm interested to see what happens. I'm one of those people, and I think it's quite negative. But like, our manager is potentially the worst manager we've ever had. Like
Zach Johnson level bad.
Yeah, like he is, and it would be like if we win the Euros, it'd have been like the US team winning despite Zach Johnson being so terrible.
That's fair. That's actually a really good take.
And what's going to happen is, like the Keegan Bradley news, spoiler alert to anyone that hasn't got that, Keegan Bradley, 2025 Ryder Cup captain. We're going to do like the biggest makeup ever and actually get a proper coach next year rather than Gareth Southgate.
It makes no sense to me, kind of outside looking in. England has the most talented team in the world by far. I don't think Americans – I'm not going to act like I'm some expert on European football. I'm not. But England national football, you have a collection of millions of people that all care so much about this one team. And they all have their club teams that they support. But they are crazy about England national soccer. It's like everyone in the nation being a diehard like Jets or Mets or Yankee or Cowboys fan, like, and everyone just comes together. So to have such a shit coach where everyone knows he's shit, and to have such a talented team and constantly be underperforming. I mean, I know they lost in the Euro final. I know they lost to France and, the World Cup. But it just makes no sense to me that such a crazed football nation with such a good team could have such a bad coach. But, what are your realistic outlook for them actually winning the tournament? Do you think they could beat Spain?
Yeah, we'll win it. Like we're going to win because he's the best asset Gareth Southgate's had is just luck. Throughout the whole tenure, he's had this great thing where he gets to play against Panama and Denmark and Switzerland, all these people where we should be beating them. I think he's only beaten he's played top 10 teams 26 times or something. He's won 4. He is legitimately awful. Now, the reason he is in the job is because we had a former manager get sacked disgracefully after one game because he got caught talking about bribes and things like that by the newspapers. And this guy was just put in as a bit of a mouthpiece. He was the under-21s coach or whatever. And when you look back at he's a historical loser. It's almost like Cam Young being elected to be the Ryder Cup captain. Let's learn from someone that doesn't know.
Never won anything in his life.
Yeah,
just like England national.
Yeah, and he fits perfectly. He's quite, but he will find the positive out of absolutely anything, which is quite anti-English. He is we play brilliantly, and it's absolutely not true. I mean, Harry Kane's basically played centre back all tournament rather than striker. So. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited just to see us win. I think we're going to do it. I think
I'm surprised because Tom, I'm not going to. I know you well, but I feel like you're more of a pessimistic person.
The most pessimistic person.
So I'm really surprised that you actually think they're going to win because I'm sure if I asked you pre-tournament, you would have said absolutely no chance.
Well, yeah, if you'd asked me pre-tournament, I said no. And even last week, Brian, you texted me saying about coming on Monday, and you said, let's hope England is still in the Euros. And I said, I doubt it. Because I thought we were going to lose to Switzerland. I didn't think we'd get this far. And I just feel like everything is aligning now. France haven't scored their own goal in open
They're
play.
shit. They're absolutely shit. They can't score.
Didier Deschamps is the French Gareth Southgate. And then Spain, the other day when they took the 1-0 lead, then just sat back forever. So I feel like it's going to be a case of someone's going to take the lead first in the final. And then, by the way, we've got to beat Netherlands on Wednesday. But
yeah, I wasn't too impressed with the Netherlands. I mean, they definitely had the weakest opponent
they're not.
The quarterfinals.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they have some shit guys on their team for sure.
They've got Cody Gakpo, and he's pretty good. He's got 3 goals.
Yeah, I mean, once the draw came out, I think it was pretty clear England was going to make the final. I think, after the group stage, it was like, okay, England absolutely should make this final.
Yeah.
It would be disappointment if they didn't. So they got to get there. I don't think they could beat Spain, in all honesty. I think Spain's a way better team.
So I've bet Spain at 8-1. So,
can't lose. That was a good bet. That's a really good bet because they're -1. They're plus 180 right now.
Yeah. So they BetMGM did the thing where you could double the odds for one afternoon or whatever. So I took that. But honestly, if it just comes down to the best team, I think Spain will win. If it just comes down to absolute
the penalties, England will win.
If it comes down to shithousing, I think we're going to win.
I mean, this tournament has not done well for the Penguin. Accusations. I mean, they're literally Penguin.
If you weren't a soccer fan and I said, watch the Euros and you'll enjoy it forever, you'd call me the biggest liar in the world.
No, it's been terrible.
Yeah, it's fundamentally one of the worst tournaments ever. And the worst thing about that is that you guys are getting the World Cup right in a couple of years' time. So, it's not a very good advert for that. And then I was thinking, what do you talked about how excited we get as a nation rallying around this one
nothing
team.
There's nothing that Americans get that excited about, because everyone has their own teams. We don't know, there's no national team that plays.
I guess the only
soccer,
thing I can think of is Olympic teams, the
Americans don't care about the Olympics.
No,
straight
so
it's nobody cares.
Yeah,
so that's why there's just no American equivalent for how much English people care about their national team. So I'll be rooting for you guys. Unfortunately, won't be able to see the game tomorrow. I'll be into the office, but Wednesday I'll be watching. Wednesday they're playing. I'll be there. Yeah. I'm excited. I've been watching a lot of football.
3 p.m. kickoff for you guys.
It's been good. Next topic, a conversation. Want to talk about Keegan Bradley being announced the 2025 Ryder Cup captain. So, there's a lot of discussion. They're going to announce the team soon, the captain soon. It should be out. It didn't really seem like Tiger was going to be it. They didn't really have a lot of other options. So I'll preface all this by saying that I don't know necessarily who else they could have gone with. I wouldn't have hated bringing back Stricker. Like, I don't think anything's wrong with that. Stuart Sink, I think, just would have been a wet fart. No one would have cared. He just would have been like a normal captain. I want to get your thoughts on it first because I have some thoughts here. You're an English bloke, but you don't like, I don't think of you as someone that like super cares super heavily about the Ryder Cup. Like, you're not like, oh my God, like England's going to, I mean, Europe's going to fucking smash. Like, let's go. Like, what are your initial thoughts as to Keegan being the captain?
So I think it is, on the face of it, a really smart idea. And I think that they've, for once, thought outside the box and it looks intelligent. But I think it's luck because I feel like they're just trying to make up for the fact that they absolutely shit on him last year. And instead of just giving him a captain's pick for maybe the President's Cup or something, they've gone, do you know what, we'll just give you the captaincy and let you run the team. Like, which is bizarre because he'll be, what, 40? Like, I would imagine he still wants to play. So there's going to be this huge storyline of whether he picks himself.
I mean, it's absolutely mad. I mean, we're going to give a guy a captain because Sam Burns is best friends with Scotty Scheffler, so they gave him his spot. And because Justin Thomas, is a great American Ryder Cup player, because Wyndham Clark and Brian Harman, who never would have been on the team, won majors. All these things happened, and Keegan got out of a pick, and they did a Netflix show about it. So because of all this that happened, all this incompetence, and all of Zach Johnson's closeness with JT and Spieth and Ricky, because of all that, we're going to lead him to, you know, obviously all Ryder Cups are super important, but like Ryder Cup, Bethpage Black getting dominated in Europe last time. They have Luke going up against Luke Donald, who's a fantastic captain. They just gave him the captaincy back-to-back years. Like, it seems like a lot to do. I was in the beginning of the year like, yo, Keegan, he'll be on the President's Cup team. Usually you give the guy who, you know, we'll get him on the President's Cup team. Like, that will make up for it. He'll be high for that. Like, to give him the captaincy is crazy to me. And then also, this is the guy who won 2 times a year ago. Ryder Cup captains are like past their prime. They're not like playing on the PGA Tour in the FedEx Cup race. Like, Keegan still thinks he can win a major. Keegan still thinks he can, you know, win PGA Tour events. Luke Donald, I mean, he plays Euro events once in a while, but he's going to be the youngest since like Arnold Palmer in the 60s. I do think like it seems like a good idea. And at the end of the day, it's probably an overrated position because the guys have to go out and play.
Yeah.
But it just seems like a lot to do because of the incompetence of the last team and because of a lot of random things happen. Yeah, let's just like make Keegan the captain at Bethpage.
Yeah, I think Tiger just saying no has killed them, right? Like, I think they just expected him to take it. I saw today that it was meant to be 100% Stuart Sink. So the Keegan Bradley thing has come out of the blue.
Well, I think it was always going to be Phil. Like, 3, 4, like 5, like Phil, Bethpage,
Phil, Ian Poulter. That's what he should have been.
Yeah.
Like, and it should have been Stenson last year, Poulter this year, Donald, McDowell going on like that. So then you've got the thing of, is he petty enough to not include some of the guys?
They got to have an agreement. I mean, I say about him playing himself, I think they got to have an agreement. If you're captain, you're not playing. There's no way he's going to play. There's no way.
So he's not going to play. And I don't think he's the type that's going to go, I'm not playing you, JT, because of what happened last time. Like, I think they know he's not petty enough to do that. And then the storyline is going to be, I guarantee there's going to be this big, massive story at some point about how he's going to recruit Michael Jordan to be part of the staff.
Which, to me, means absolutely nothing about beating the Europeans at golf. Like, truly, he would have a negative. He wouldn't add anything. Michael Jordan being involved in the Ryder Cup,
because they're like friends, right? Like in some weird way, they're friends, and because I think he's been a part of a team, right? At some point,
I
Michael
think he
Jordan.
just like goes every year.
Yeah,
Like
and
I
he just
think he
rides
just
around in the
loves the
buggy
Ryder Cup. Yeah.
and like. So I think he's going to be on the team, and then they're going to win. The US are going to win because it's at Bethpage, and they'll be better by then, and everything will be fine. And then it's all going to come out on like day 2 that Michael Jordan did this rousing any given Sunday type speech, and this is the reason why they went out and won. And it's going to be absolutely nothing to do with that. They're just better than the European side.
And it's just insanely hard to win a Ryder Cup on foreign soil.
Yeah, simple as that. So look, it's cool. I think it adds a layer of
I agree.
interest to.
I agree.
What could have been a really boring decision, right? Which
Stewart's saying. I mean, genuinely, no one gives.
But also, like, I feel like Woods would have been a boring decision. I know that sounds like a bit of a hot take.
No.
Yeah, because it's just accepted that it's going to happen, and I don't think he has any interest in doing it. Hence why he's not doing it. Like, he didn't want to play in it, as far as I can tell. Really.
Yeah, and he was not a good Ryder Cup player.
No. So, like, the fact that he's turned it down suggests to me he wouldn't have really given it.
Well, he said it was because of the policy board.
Okay.
He couldn't do both.
Fair.
And it's obvious. But, like, again, it's like, oh, it's a really big commitment. It's like, Keegan is, what is he just going to not play the summer before? He's just going to give up on the FedEx Cup playoffs and $50 million? Like,
he's
still a good golfer.
Yeah. Well, what is he, like top 20 in the world? Like, he's not.
Yeah, I think he's like 25 in the world. Like, it's solid. Like, again, I don't think it really means that much. It's just crazy that the U.S. Ryder Cup team is like, oh, we like screwed this guy and a bunch of random things happened last year, so he wasn't on the team, so now we're just going to give him the captain. Oh, he's also like still playing on the PGA Tour and like we'll be at East Lake. It's
made for Netflix.
Yeah. Like what everyone would I never watched Full Swing, and I really randomly watched it not that long ago. But yeah, I mean, again, I don't want to do the whole teams thing now. I don't want to do it. I think Jordan Spieth does not deserve to be the water boy for the fucking team. Like, Jordan Spieth does not deserve to be on the team at all. He should not be on the team. JT, I'm fine with JT being on the team. I know it's far out. Like, JT's been solid this year. He's going to be on the President's Cup team. You know, it'll be curious to see, you know, if Jordan's not on the President's Cup team, I'll feel a lot better about our chances in 2025. But we got a bunch of guys. Like, and, you know, we always do. And Europe's great. And, you know, it'll be the only thing Rory cares about. But it does make it more interesting. I don't know what else they could have done better. I just don't love it. I don't think it's like some slam dunk. But
no, I just think they've got there by luck. Like, they've gone, Tiger, you do it, and he's on no. And then they've gone, Stuart think they've probably asked the players, and they've gone, nah, not Stuart. And then it's just gone to Keegan. Like,
and they're like peers.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying, like, the guys Keegan's going to have on his teams are like his peers, the guys he's competing with every week. And it's not like that when Steve Stricker's your fucking captain. It's like, yeah, this guy was good like 15 years ago.
Well, that's like when Donald picked Rose, it looked very like awkward for him. He had to pick someone that he's basically played against for the last however many years. They seem to be really good friends, and they've played on teams together and things like that. But like him compared to captaining like Højgaard or Aberg or whatever, Hovland seemed a lot more difficult, right? And he almost just said, like, you do what you need to do, you're in the teams. Keegan can't do that for the whole team.
Yeah.
Which is what he would have to do. So he's going to have, I mean, I guess, is Stricker going to be vice captain?
Yeah, I think Stricker, Couples, ZJ. Well, they already announced that like JT Spieth and they're on like some committee that will like help with the captain's picks or whatever. It's crazy. If they fuck up I think looking back on Rome, the U.S. just got really unlucky with a lot of the people that they had on their team. Like Ricky peaked way too early but they were never going to not pick Ricky. You know, Wyndham Clark, you know, randomly won a U.S. Open. Brian Harman, who was actually pretty solid, but he wasn't spectacular or anything. He randomly won the Open. And they just kind of had a bunch of guys that, you know, weren't the 12 necessarily best. And the U.S. just wasn't in great form at the time. I think things will change in 2025.
And also the Europeans just came good at the right time. Like,
yes,
I remember from like 6 weeks before, I thought it was going to be a US domination again. And then it got to like 2 weeks out. And it's like, no, Europe can't lose. Like, they're playing too well. It's at home. It's perfect. And then you got, as you said, Brian Harmon and Wyndham Clark get on the team just out of nowhere and fully deserved, right? Like we're on board with them getting on, but like it took up 2 spots. They would never, the dynamic of those two would never be involved. Brooks coming over from Liv because
he was shit. Brooks
and
too, like 3 guys that probably wouldn't have been on the team.
No one likes him, so like that ruins that.
But I really do think they have a better pool in 2025 than they did in 2023.
Yeah,
like I think even again, I'm like Davis Thompson, like Akshay, Sahith, all these Thor Bjornsson, like all these guys, they're fucking to be perfect at Bethpage, like genuinely. So I'm not gonna do a whole US like I still like them in 2025 just for the pure fact like it's just easier to win a Ryder Cup at home. And every time it goes to Europe, these random Europeans who are shit at golf like just turn into unbelievable players. And that'll probably it's less likely to happen when they get over to Bethpage in my backyard. But I'm glad we talked about it. It's very surprising. Change it up, I guess. Just don't pick Jordan Spieth. If JT sucks, don't pick him. Like, give me Cam Young, give me Thor Bjornsson, give me even Davis Riley if he can. I mean, Davis Thompson if he continues to play well. Give me Cam Young, give me Bryson. Like, give me those guys. And
well, this is the thing. Like, I'm guessing something would have happened with the Liv thing by then.
I mean, Brooks was on the team, so.
Yeah.
Like there's no real reason.
Yeah. They've already said basically how Rahm can play.
Yeah, no Brooks, give me Bryson. Like, give me Bryson on the team. Do not want Brooks or Spieth anywhere near this. Brooks should not be on the next Ryder Cup team. I don't care. He won a major there. Brooks is no. I do not want Brooks there. Like, give me your Akshays, give me your Thor Bjornssons, give me, anyone else. Like, I'm just out on those guys. Like, let's get some newer guys in. But I'm looking forward to it. It's in my backyard. Keegan's my guy. I'll ride for him. Yeah, I'll go. I think it's very expensive to go. I'll probably do something with work where I won't have to spend a bunch of money on tickets. But to be honest, I don't go for work or whatever. I would just, whatever it is, I would just spend the money on Sunday singles. I'm not going Friday or Saturday. It's just a terrible viewing experience. And if I'm going to go, I want 24 guys on the course at the same time.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
Regardless, John Deere Classic last week, Davis Thompson is your winner, 4-shot winner over a pretty eclectic group. CT Pan, Thor Bjornsson, Ben Griffin. What were your initial thoughts and just overall thoughts on the JDC?
Initial thoughts were it didn't go very well for me. I think Lucas Glover was about as good as I could have got, and he was out of it by halfway through Sunday. I think the scoring got out of hand. I know this is not hot plate, right? But to have 16 players, 20 under or better is ridiculous. I mean, that is going too far, I think. I was really impressed by Thompson. I thought he would win, but he would win quite nervously, by a couple of shots. And he won by 4, shot a 64 on Sunday, got an amateur behind him, Fjorkens, a newly minted pro behind him. It was that perfect type of event for them. I don't think I think the course is redundant at this point. So they've got to figure it out. But sometimes it's quite fun just to have a tournament like that.
It's the John Deere Classic. It's the fucking John Deere. Yeah. If the Masters gets a 20 under, okay, I understand that, but the event is the connotation with it. It's that it's a shitty event that no one plays.
But also, I think the underrated thing is it used to be that event before the Open, right? So a lot of people used to go over the Scottish Open, but the Americans generally used to play that, get a chance to fly to the Open, and that's when Zach and Steve Stricker and all that used to win all the time, right? So it hasn't even got that, which is a problem. Yeah. So
it's just bad spot in the schedule. Now that they're playing Scottish, it's 2 weeks overseas. It's I'm just not going to play this event. But
it's just a rocket mortgage now. Yeah. It's in that bracket, which is fine. I think you need tournaments like that to fill the weeks.
Yeah, I'm honestly, I say it a lot. It's nice to hit, a winner where, the guy was trending and it was a good course fit and it was a solid number. Because it felt like a lot of times the guy that was, quote unquote obvious or a good bet, in good form, good course fit, good number, whatever, has been runner up to Scotty or to a random long shot you never would have been on. So to me, it's nice to have a winner that like made sense, and it was pretty easy to land on. And we see a lot. They're trending. The win doesn't come. Like there's a ton of guys like that. Even elite players like Colin. He's playing unbelievable golf. When is the win going to come? But yeah, I mean, I never bet Davis Thompson before in my entire life. I've never thought of him as like this super elite prospect or whatever. I remember him like leading the U.S. Open at Winged Foot for a little bit. So obviously he's always had talent, but yeah, he's extremely talented. And I think he's a modern 2024 pro golfer, hits in a mile, decent iron player, good chipper, good putter, can hit it 370. I think he, will be, a guy that we see in the 30 to 50 range, for the next couple of years, probably wins a couple times and has like a solid PGA Tour career. Like never a major champion, no one that anyone is going to, write books about, but just like a solid PGA Tour pro golfer. And I don't even know if I want to bring it up, but it just, again, I know I like the PGA Tour. I know I should on Live a lot. I'm not saying he's a massive star, but it just kind of shows the massive advantage and benefit the PGA Tour has, even with the guys like Clanston and Thor Bjornsson, that all these people left and half of them no one gave a shit about. And the PGA Tour is just like these new guys are just coming up and they're just getting them and they're, stars per se, and they could be interesting. And, it just shows the talent pool of the PGA Tour kind of last week really highlighted it.
That was the take, right? When Liv got Ogletree and they got Caleb Surratt and they got David Pooge, it was like, right, they're actually now interfering with the conveyor belt of talent, and that was going to be the big difference. And so far, that hasn't worked out for Liv. They've got three of the wrong guys. Like David Pooge has been okay in Asia, and he's shown up a couple of times recently, so he now seems to be making good on it. But like the others haven't really worked out yet. I forget the other guy that was over there that was on Phil's team. But like they've not quite got what they wanted. They were never going to get Aberg. Thorbjornsen probably wasn't made an offer at this point. They spent so much money on the other guys. So yeah, I think you're right. Like the PGA Tour U system thing has worked really well for them so far, right? I think that ultimately there's not really a discussion about the two tours at the moment. Like one of them is infinitely better than the other until anything changes, right? So in terms of talent pool anyway, and constant talent pool. But yeah, I think with Davis Thompson especially, I kind of galaxy brained it a little bit, thinking that like Nick Dunlap was overpriced because everyone said I think you said it was like one of the worst prices ever, right? And like I just thought he was priced in the same way as Davis Thompson was, and he'd actually gone out and done it. He'd won, and he seemed to have found a little flaw of kind of consistency. And I thought, right, he's sort of found a new level, whereas Thompson was doing that, he just hadn't got the win yet. So both of them were sort of tracking in the same way. And had Thompson had won the Amex earlier in the year as opposed to the thing, that people would probably just view it differently. People would have gone Dunlap over Davis Thompson. It probably would have worked out that way. So it's all very quite niche in terms of picking that. Like Pendrith a little while ago, the week after he won, I thought it was a big price for the PGA, right? I think it was, or the US Open, one of the two. And then I just think they're getting overpriced, these recent winners. But it hasn't worked out that way. So I mean, Davis Thompson's like 66-1 for the Scottish Open now, and he's in great form. I mean, he's never seen a links course in his life, as far as I can tell, but he seems a decent price. So
I mean, I think that again, everyone had a shit price last week. Like everyone, like the only person I really was like, oh, that's a decent price was like Poston. Like everyone else was just, no, I would never bet him at this number. And that was kind of, if you were betting last week, you were betting someone at a bad number. And, Davis Thompson was definitely a bad number. I mean, I've kind of been, because I don't like do really any like content before, I've been betting on like Tuesday night and Wednesday. Like I got a terrible price on him. Like people had 30s or whatever. Like I just, Monday morning, I just haven't been super, like some people at like random events. Yeah, I like this guy. But I don't know. I've just kind of been letting the week marinate,
I much prefer doing it on a Wednesday and just putting the bets on Wednesday. Like if I wasn't, as you said, doing the content, writing the articles I write out and things like that on the Monday, which there's a demand for that, and that's why you do it. I would much rather just individually bet myself. Like back before I started doing content, I was always just waiting Tuesday, Wednesday, wait for the tee times to come out, wait for the weather reports to come out, wait for, just to see how, because eventually you'll see who people are betting and it makes the most sense, right? So, I prefer that from a personal standpoint. I think you can still do a little bit of that. You can kind of go back in on a player on a Wednesday and stuff. So it's not the end of the world, but I think it's better to have the beneficiary of a couple of days thought.
Yeah, no, it's tough, and like especially with the Scottish, it just in my opinion, I think it's a bit of a tougher event to handicap.
Oh,
I think it is tough, and I'm still excited for it. So, what are your kind of overall thoughts on this course, this event? Who's won it? Like, what did you think about it when it was a DP World Tour event, and what kind of like the key facts and stats and trends and stuff that you're looking for this week?
So the obvious thing is to look at is the fact that the last 2 years it's been a co-sanctioned event. We've had Rory and Xander win, right? That's the first thing off the top. Xander was coming off the win at the Travellers. Rory had finished 7th for the Travellers. They come on and win this. The other thing to focus on is the fact they only beat Robert McIntyre and Kurt Kitayama by 1 shot. So it could have been a very different story quite easily. And what I find quite fascinating is the sort of run-of-the-mill players that make up the rest of the top 10. So last year you had Benny Ann, David Lingmerth both tied 3rd, JT Poston tied 6th. And then you get a plethora of kind of DP World Tour talents like Nikolai Højgaard 6th, Grant Forrest 11th, Fox 12th, Ferguson 12th, Hodges 12th, right? Like it's a bit of a weird mix. And then you go back a year before that as well.
Tom Kim.
Like Tom Kim 3rd and 6th, Tringale 6th, Brandon Wu 6th, Alex Smalley 10th. And this is what I say about these players. There's no way that that Alex Smalley would ever like a links golf course. No way Brandon Wu's going to like it. Anyone can tell you that they knew it was coming. They didn't. That guy didn't know it was coming. So unless they've snuck off and played Scotland 3 years ago on a boys' trip, they've got no idea what they look like. So ultimately, I think the point of it is it's a tee to green test throughout. I don't think there's really one standout statistic of those three. There's a lot of people talking about kind of distance and off the tee because it is sneakily quite long for a past 70. And I do agree with that. I think distance will help. But then you've seen Tom Kim,
David Lingmerth,
3rd and 6th, Lingmerth just nudge it around there. The interesting thing I found was a little bit of a link, I think, between this and the Memorial, which makes sense because Jack Nicklaus designed Muirfield Village after Muirfield in Scotland, which is actually just around the corner. So you had Rory's won the Scottish 4th at Memorial, Xander's won the Scottish 8th at Memorial, Patrick Cantlay 2-time Memorial winner, 4th at the Scottish, Scheffler won the Memorial 3rd at the Scottish, Lingmerth won Memorial 3rd at the Scottish, Benny Ann playoff lows Memorial 3rd at the Scottish. So you've got all these kind of things that crossed over from the Memorial, and I think that makes sense. It's kind of a creative golf course. It's tough. It's designed by Jack Nicklaus. He obviously loved that golf. So I think that makes sense. But yeah, I think one of those things that when you talk about it being a difficult betting event, I think why there's more interest in someone like me in this week is because you think, we focus on DP World Tour stuff, but it's still a 50-50 field, right? There's so many more PGA Tour players and quality players that can actually really stand a chance.
And they're probably going to win. Like someone week to week on the PGA Tour is probably going to win.
Yeah, like it's almost certainly going to, even if it's a DP World Tour player, which we'll go into in a minute with some of my picks, like they're playing the PGA Tour regularly. And that's only going to probably heighten as we get these 10 DP World Tour players go over to PGA Tour every year. So, I think it's one of those ones where don't overthink it. Pick the guys that are in form. If there's someone that's shown they absolutely hate links golf, that's completely different. I do think playing in the event at least once helps. It doesn't have to have been anything special, but 30th or something would be great. I think that's my overall thoughts. You can get away with a few tee shots, it's a little bit wider in places. Putt well, hit plenty of approaches, and it's all going to be weather dependent.
I think actually it doesn't look like that bad of weather. Some rain, but not a ton of wind. So I know Vegas set the over-under at 16.5. They're always been pretty good. What are your thoughts about that as a winning score?
Yeah, that sounds pretty close, right? Like we had a range of 7 under to 20 under, right? I think at this golf course. So I think kind of 15, 16 under would be good. I think This could be where it plays into longer hitters' hands because we've had a lot of rain in the UK.
It's not going to be as firm.
No. So I think that could play into the hands of that.
Yeah,
but
no, I like that. I definitely like that. Rory, I don't know how much time we want to spend on him. Obviously, what happened at the U.S. Open happened. He's going to have to face some tough questions, I guess, this week if he's even doing media. I don't really know. Xander also won here. You know, I don't think either of us are betting them. I think they're both very live. You know, it would kind of shock me if either of them won a little bit. I think someone from more down the board is going to win. I definitely prefer Xander over Rory, though.
I do. I think last year Rory still felt like he had a bit to prove, even in these events. We talked about with Barrow earlier. Like, whereas now the only thing he's got to prove is that he can win a major again. He probably doesn't care about this anymore. He's coming back, sharpening his tools a little bit. I don't think he's going to get too many tough questions this week. I think he'll get them all next week when there's a bigger group of reporters there. They might go in on him a little bit, but ultimately, I don't think he cares. I think there's a reason why he's back this week. He's just to warm up. He won it last year, so they built a plaque, by the way, for his 200-yard shot on the last hole. Which I'm
out on that.
Yeah, I thought
it was a good shot, but it wasn't like anything crazy.
It's like Justin Rose got one at like Merion, didn't he? Right, like for winning the US Open.
Yeah, like it's for like winning a major. Yeah. Like Sean McKeel at Oak Hill. Like I saw that.
I think that's.
Doing the Scottish Open, I'm out on it.
I am.
Can Colin win?
Yes, but I don't think he does. I'd rather pick Xander. Like I think Xander's been so good for so long.
I like Colin. I think that, again, his game is really trending. And it's kind of I know he's an Open Championship winner, but it's kind of a shame that he might not get a win out of his results. I don't really think he's going to win either of the next 2 weeks. I don't think Colin Morikawa is a two-time links golf champion. Like, that doesn't really sit right.
I would probably rather bet him next week.
Okay.
I think the course is more suited to an American player next.
So you think more distance buys this week versus next?
Yeah, potentially, but also I just think like a bit more American friendly next week. Like I think you can get away with some shots.
Ludwig Aubert. I think I'm kind of hard on him. I don't know why he's 16-1 every week. And I think that kind of what these amateurs that are coming up are doing, kind of negates
what he's done.
Like, I don't know. I don't know. Again, he's won the RSM Classic. Like, I know he's runner up the Masters and everything. I need him. I'm not saying he's not good. It's just like he needs to do more for him to not be 16, for him to be 16-1 every week.
This is a classic, like, he doesn't deserve to be that price. He's just that because they know people are still going to bet it because they're caught up in the fandom of it. The guy is playing hurt, so we don't really know whether he's going to be right week to week. The guy still makes a triple bogey every tournament, and he bounces back better than anybody else from a triple bogey. But I'm pretty hard on him as well. I think he's, despite the fact that everyone says how good of a driver he is, I think he's more suited to these RSMs, these John Deere type of tournaments, right? That he just has these kind of short wedges in and everything like that. So I'm not out on him, but I'm never going to bet him at this price. Like,
I don't think I know. I'm out, not winning. Like, I feel good about Ludwig.
Yeah, I would never argue that.
Tommy, 22-1.
Nah, I'm done. Like, I bet him at the US Open with so much confidence. Like, I was so, like, when I look back at his major record, look at his US Open record, I was like, this guy is so due. He's been playing well on the PGA Tour, and he was pretty shit for the most part. He played well, obviously, on the Sunday, climbed inside the top 20. I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think he's going to win either. Not hot take.
It's not with him, right? Like, it's not a hot take.
It's not. I feel
in the world of asterisks, he would probably get one put next to his name for this anyway. Like, he got his first PGA Tour win in a DP World Tour event.
Yeah, I don't even.
Which is hard.
I think it's too much. I think Tommy wins an event he has no connection to. When everyone expects him to win, and like he's one of the favorites.
That Canadian Open would have been perfect.
Yeah. It's in Canada, like no connection to it. Like he's just a good player that likes to play it. And that's why I hate him, because he didn't win that. Like, it's him to come over for the Scottish. He's still Tommy Fleetwood, and he's a supreme player. But no, I'm out on him next week. I just don't think he can close. I think if he wins, it'll be a random event. What are your thoughts on Hovland? He's a good number. He's been playing well. He has some good records in the Open. To me, I don't think of Hovland as – to me, Hovland's absolute best results have been on American-style, classical, thick, rough golf courses. That's where he's literally had his absolute best results. Olympia Fields, Oak Hill, Memorial, and Valhalla. Like, this isn't that. Like, I know he's had some good finishes in the Open, but, like, I don't think Victor Hovland's game is like you bet him overseas. If Victor Hovland was American, I don't know if people would be like, oh, this is a great spot for him.
No, I think everyone's going to point to the fact that the short game's a hard thing for him. He's not that creative around the greens. I think he's fine for the Open Championship if people want to bet him. I think if you got the big numbers while he was out of form, then great. I'm not going to be betting him at 20-1, whether he's going to be next week or this week. I think he's been a little bit disappointing since he finished third.
I agree. He hasn't really done much.
He was like, wasn't he like third at halfway or second at halfway at Memorial and just faded? Like,
yep, exactly.
He's not back yet.
I agree. So I think it's a good number, and I might bet it, but I don't love it. I don't feel great about it. I think in general, I like him on classical American courses. Tom Kim, I think it's a little bit too much too soon for Tom Kim. I think that, I think it's a little bit different, but you look at how Aaron Rai bounced back from finishing runner-up, another great week. I don't know how different of a circumstance it is. Tom Kim, runner-up, and misses the cut at Rocket, which he absolutely never should have. I know he has some good results here. He was like solo lead on Sunday at this event last year. It's a course fit. It's like a course history plus form here. But I don't know. I think Travelers was like kind of his week.
I think he's going to win. So
okay, let's go.
Because I think if he had played anybody else on that Sunday other than Scotty Scheffler, he was going to win that tournament.
Yeah.
I am disappointed that he completely fatted his wedge in the playoff hole.
Did you have him?
Yeah. But, like, it feels like this form's been coming for a little while now, and then he's finally peaked at the Travelers. You think he's going to win it. Had he have won that, I think he'd had a couple of weeks of just chilling out. Then he went to the Rocket, probably made a prior sort of
shouldn't have played that
9 weeks in a row, whatever it was. He's had this week off now, and he loves this golf. Like, he absolutely loves this golf, and he hobbled around Hoylake on 1 foot and finished second. Right, like he was unbelievable.
Good links player.
Yeah, great links player. From the very small sample size we've got of Tom Kim, he's a great links player. So I think he wins. Now, the concern is it looks too obvious, and that's what's going to put people off. And the number keeps probably going even shorter, but I think he's going to win. So I'm fine.
No, the miscut, it shouldn't, but the miscut at Rocket doesn't make me feel good. I don't know why. I don't know. He might have peaked, and I think it's if it's a little bit softer, I don't know.
That's the bigger concern. Like, I don't care about Rocket, but the fact that the course might actually be way more suited to long hitters this year than it has been before. And that's probably going to affect my next pick as well, which is great. Then that's probably the biggest concern. Is it going to get too long for him?
Yeah. I think guy in the same boat. I think it's definitely the most obvious pick on the board.
Yeah.
But I of all the people I feel pretty good about, not that I think he's going to win, but I'm fine at 30 on Min Woo. I don't know. I just like, to me, he is driver putter. That's exactly what he does really well. You're going to need that this week. If it's a little bit wet, I want, a little bit more distance. I think it's a shit number. I agree. But at the same time, he was one of the favorites at Rocket and, finished runner up, could have won. And I think that was always kind of missing for me from Min Woo, was that he never really contended. Like, he had some good finishes, but he was never in the mix. I like that he was in the mix. He's coming to a course he's won before. 30-1, if that's available, I'm seeing it is. Like, I like that. So I'm in there.
Yeah, like, he's one of the biggest beneficiaries of this soft weather if it comes, right? Like, soft golf course from Min Woo Lee, hits the driver, has finished 21st, I think, in an Open Championship before, as you said, won on a golf course. So, yeah, I think it's a fair number. I don't think it's anything exciting. But I don't think it's pretty much like the Aberg thing, but not quite as extreme. Like,
Yeah.
you're not going to get big numbers on him because he's great at Instagram and he looks quite cool on a golf course.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if 30's out there, I think 30's fair, genuinely. With Scotty not in the field, Big Tone's not in the field, Burns, like there's some people missing. I don't think it's really that bad.
Big Tone wins next week, by the way.
No, he's not.
He's going to win next week.
If he's not playing Scottish.
Yeah, but he's going to win next week, so it doesn't matter.
I love Tone next week.
Yeah.
But he's not playing Scottish, so we could play
He should be here. I don't know why he's not here.
If he would play this week, I would 100% Big Tone winning the Open Championship. Yeah. But I don't think you can win the Open Championship not playing the Scottish the week before.
And he didn't play the week before that either, did he? So that's he's been off for a while now.
Yeah, he didn't even play Rocket.
No. Did he even?
What the fuck, Tone?
I know.
I don't know if we WhatsApped about it, but I love Tone at the Open. I genuinely really like Tone at the Open, so I was really pissed that he's not playing this week.
Yeah, he hasn't done it in the past either, is he? Like, it's not like a new thing that he's not playing it. I don't think he did it last.
I don't know.
So, I think.
The last 3 Open Championship winners have played the Scottish.
Yeah, like he should have played it. It's annoying.
Should have played it. Tell 3M to go fuck himself. Yeah. Whatever. It's fine. Decky, Fitz, Bob Mack, JT, Rye. Who'd you bet?
Rye. But so there's the other thing about this. So I wonder if this has gone through your mind. So Wednesday night, 8 p.m., England versus Netherlands. England get through. Matt Fitz hits the bar. Not very good on Thursday morning. Then he spends all day Sunday thinking about the fact that England are in the final. All he wants to think about is team news.
Is the final going to be Sunday?
Sunday night, yeah.
So 3 p.m.
So they'll get it finished. Okay. But I just wonder if that will impact anyone. I don't think Tommy Fleet was going to go out and get hammered on a Wednesday night and watch England. I think he'll be fine on Thursday morning.
Rye definitely not.
Rye definitely not. Not unless he can carry his pint with 2 gloves. And I don't think Fitz drinks beer. But he's the biggest football fan out of the lot.
Okay. All right. Add that to your model. Fitz, biggest European, English football fan.
Yeah. Anyway, Aaron Rye. So he has missed the cut the last couple of years that he's been here when it's been the co-sanctioned event, but he is a winner on the golf course, beat Tommy Fleetwood in horrific weather. I think that's going to be the biggest problem again. Like you said, is the weather going to handicap Tom Kim? It's exactly the same with Aaron Rye. Does that lean into more Minwoo Lee? Probably. But Aaron Rye's just found a floor, man. He's found a consistency.
Putter, man. The putter's been really freaking good.
Looks like he's going to win. And it would make perfect sense to come and do it in familiar surroundings, right? And it's not only the performance kind of at this golf course itself. He's got other sort of links for him as well. He's been second at an Irish Open, third at the Scottish Championship, tied 9th at the Scottish Open at the course around the corner as well. His 7th last week was his 4th top 20 in a row. So everything's lining up for Aaron Rye to at least contend again. And I feel pretty good about him.
Yeah, no, I don't hate it at all. The putter's been great. He's always been a great ball striker, but he found something with his flat stick.
The number feels big for
Yeah, I mean, why? And this is a case for you. Why is he 15 points higher than Minwoo?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't, and that's the biggest argument against Minwoo. It's the biggest argument against Fitz. It's the biggest argument. Corey Connors should probably be more than 5 points bigger than Aaron Rye in Scotland.
Yeah.
But I think it's this focus that it's going to be a longer course this time around. It's going to be a tougher test. In which case, but then Rye's play well at Tory. So what do we do? It's fine.
Yeah, no, it's tough. I haven't been super inspired by him on Sundays, but it's tough with it. But I do agree it's a good number for it. I bet Wyndham Clark, 66, I think 60 or something. 60, I bet him. Look, I don't for me, again, Andy talked about it. I like driver putter this week. I think that's, what you kind of need to succeed. He's been off and on. He's been kind of hasn't been playing well, but gained on approach at the Travelers, found something a little bit. He's been solid here the past 2 years. 60-1 on a guy that could pop and win and contend a lot. I'm in. So I just like that. Bet on 60. I like it. A little bit concerned with the withdrawal. Hasn't been playing great. I don't know what's up with him, but he was first round leader here last year. Shot 9 under. Were you on that?
No.
Why not?
I don't know, and I need to figure that out for this week. Back to Clark. If he had just kept his mouth shut at the Masters, I'm convinced he would have been okay.
Okay.
Because he made that comment, didn't he, on the Friday about the live thing?
Yeah, that was tough. He hasn't been great in the majors,
and I think he's just got above his skis a little bit. Then he shoots a fine around 63 at the Travelers, and you think, okay, maybe he's just calmed down, back in his sort of mojo. And if that's the case, then he's a great pick this week because the number is too big for a reigning, or not a reigning US champion anymore, but the US Open champion last year. And he played well at the Open last year. He was like 33rd, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So,
I think it was good after the first 2 days.
Yeah, like I think Clark's fine. Benny Ann, don't really know what's going on with him. I think the bubble's just burst slightly.
Yeah, probably peaked.
Peaked a little bit.
Do you like Thiegs? Can Thiegs win?
No.
Okay. Dietrich, you're in.
Yes.
Driver putter, playing really freaking good golf. Hasn't won here.
Yeah, I hate to say this about anyone anymore. Like, I don't do it ever. The guy has to win at some point.
What has he won on DP?
Nothing.
Wait, what?
Never won on the DP World Tour.
He's never won on the DP?
No, this is the problem. The closest he came was when he was the playoff loser here, and he should have won, but he missed a short putt because some massive horn went off or something in his backswing.
Gerst talks about that.
So that's
he's never won on the DP?
No. And he only won once on the Challenge Tour in 2016. So it's not like a PGA Tour problem. It's a Thomas Dietrich problem.
But you're in.
But I'm in because I just think eventually the talent has to win out, right? Like at some point, it has to. You can't finish 4th in a PGA, 14th in the US Open, 2nd in Houston, 4th at Pebble, and then come to a course where you've had 5 out of 5 made cuts, lost in the playoff, finished 10th the year after.
What has he done since the playoff loss?
He has been 10th and 42nd, but he opened with a 64 last year to be 3rd after round 1. So
basically won.
His irons are hot. He's played well in majors.
80-1 solid number. I don't hate it. I'll ride. I'll ride Deeds with you.
And to be honest, like he's getting into that kind of thing now where I used to hate him because he was a short number at the DP World Tour all the time and he never won. Now I'm kind of rooting for him to win at 80-1 all the time. So I'm getting forgiving of these people. There's one player here, Alex Noren, who I haven't bet. But it feels
I'm surprised by his number.
Everyone's betting very quickly.
Yes, he was like the favorite in an event a couple weeks ago.
And like not that much has happened since. Like he's missed the cut, I think in a couple of majors maybe. He was 22nd at the Memorial. He was 12th. No, he was 12th at the PGA, right? He didn't miss the cut there. He was 12th in the PGA, missed the cut at Canadian. And he missed the cut at the Rocky Mortgage, but who cares, really? He's coming back into a course that he'll like, type of event that he'll like. He loves links golf. So I think people have jumped off Alex Noren maybe a week too early. And then what's going to happen is he's going to play well this week, and then everyone will bet him for the Open at like 100.
Yeah, I'll finish like T5, and then but I think it's a good number. Honestly, I think it's a good number.
I do.
Fox, I want to bet Fox. His short game sucks though.
He let me down last week, so I backed him and Peters as the 2 favorites last week in Europe, which I never do. I was just convinced they were going to be like.
I bet Fox last week.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be your like forecast that you did not so long ago, Fox and Peters, and they were both shit. I mean, Peters was like 5 over through 3 or something ridiculous, or 3 over through 5 on it, and then just bounced back with a horrendous amount of birdies. But I can't get on board with Fox at the moment.
Out on Fox.
Yeah, I've gone with Van Rooyen at 100-1.
I think that's a proper shout, mate.
The guy's really good at golf. Like
He
hot
is.
take, man.
He
Ryan.
doesn't get a lot out of it, but he's good.
Yeah, and he has found this kind of consistency with his play recently. I know he's had a couple of miscuts, but I'm not too worried about that. It's course
Driver
dependent.
putter, good result at Rocket.
Yeah.
Can South Africans win in Scotland? Do we have any
takes on that?
because he's not American, so that gives him a bump this week. But does being South African help at all?
Louis won at St Andrews, right?
Okay.
He won the
Ernie Els. He's a good open player.
Has twice won this tournament. Retief Goosen, Tim Clark, Brandon Stone won it in 2018. So yeah,
South Africans fuck at the Scottish Open.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, I'm in on EVR. You saw it.
EVR's in. So I don't need to tell you about the rest of it, where he's like 14th on debut, 2 opening 64s there, then finished 6th.
EVR first round leader, mega.
Yeah.
Mega
free money. And then
are you in?
Yes. And
Will
then
you commit to EVR first round leader?
Yeah, just do it now.
Okay.
And then he shot a second round 63 last year, whilst he'd come off the back of like 10 miscuts or something.
Holy fuck, EVR's winning. Holy fuck.
The guy's gonna win. It might be wire to wire.
Oh my god. No, yeah, I'm in. I liked him at Rocket, didn't bet him. Had a little bit of FOMO. South Africans in Scottish, you just bet him. I love it. And first round leader might be generational.
Yeah, like I'm not allowed to say free money in my job for compliance reasons, but it is free money.
Okay, sweet. Pavs 100.
Pavs. Don't know.
Driver putter.
Yeah, but I don't know. He's been good here. I mean, he's at 12th and 35th, like at this golf course. It's fine. I think potentially, I don't know. He was pretty good the week after the US Open, right? 16th for the Travelers.
Yeah, I mean he's solid. I don't know. I think of Pavs. He dominates on difficult courses. I don't know if he could keep up -16.
He would benefit if it got tough.
Yes, and he's got some pop off the tee. He's not short off the tee. I could trust him. And it's a little bit wet.
It was a different course, but he's been third in this tournament before as well.
Boom.
And
I kind of like it. I think it's
6th at the Dunhill Links, 12th at the Dunhill Links. So there you go. Plenty of links form on top of the showings he's had here as well.
All right. Who are your kind of Cam Davis won 75-1 after winning not that long ago. Who are your random Euros that you think can make some noise? I mean, it's obvious. Sami Välimäki 251. That's extremely obvious.
Yeah, I mean that's a big number. He was 24th here a couple of years ago. Likes links golf, so the Finnish flash can go in at 250-1. I won't argue with anyone about that. I have a 600-1 golfer. Brian, you must know Matteo Manassero.
Of course.
Yeah.
Followed his career for a long time.
So basically, Matteo Manassero was the first bet I was allowed to make at 18 in a golf tournament. He was the first winner I had. And I was there. I watched it. And he won every single year after turning pro for 4 years. Every year he won.
And then he died, right?
And then I think he might have actually lost an arm. And then he came back once his arm grew back, or they made a robot Ironman arm, whatever it was. He's now good again. He's now actually pretty good again. And I think it's going we talk about it every single week on the DP World Tour show that we do, that he just keeps getting overpriced. People don't believe it's going to last. And I do get that to a certain extent. The stats haven't been great, but since he's won, he's had a 5th at the Indian Open, 13th at Sadal, 7th at the KLM, 10th at the Italian Open. Putting terribly, but he's also got 3rd and 4th place finishes in the Scottish Open in the past. Not at this golf course. He's got two top 20s in the Open Championship. The guy loves it, and if he ever wants to get back on the big stage, it's going to have to be in a field like this. So 600-1 about a guy that's basically reinventing his career at the age of 31 again, which is wild. He's the same age as me, so I think that's why I have an affinity. I think he's slightly younger than me, but
he's your guy.
He's my guy. So
600 to 1,
600.
Italian. I mean, just a nuke.
Yeah, he's in.
Anyone else you like?
I think that's probably it for just like bets that I've made.
Scotty James?
Yeah, first round leader maybe. That's the type of thing that he would do.
It's out of the desert though.
No, that's true. Rikoya Hishino is playing pretty well on DP World Tour at the moment. Not
Sea
sure.
Links guy?
I'm not sure how good he is on links, but 10th and 6th in the last 3 weeks, so pretty impressive. I think that's probably it. The one thing I was interested by, so I feel like Eric Cole and Ben Griffin could play this tournament well. And
I bet Ben Griffin last week. He was good.
Well, I grouped the two players together, and I don't think there's any similarities between them other than the fact that I, for some reason, can't separate the two. I just think they're like late bloomers. I mean, Cole, I think, is maybe like 6 years older than him, but Griffin's just been really solid, right? And he was 25th here last year. And if you look at the course form, Eric Cole was 60th here last year. He was 5th going into the final round. He shot a 79 on Sunday.
Tough. It's tough for Cole.
So, terrible Sunday player at the Scottish Open, but before that, brilliant. And he's finished 6th and 7th the last 2 weeks. So, I've never in my life said the line, I'm in on Eric Cole, but I might be in on Eric Cole this week.
I'm more in on Ben Griffin. I might have to give Ben Griffin another chance. What's the name of the tournament? I don't even know. Isco, are you betting it?
Yes, reluctantly.
Reluctantly betting it.
Yeah. So my take on this is that there's been a lot of DP World Tour players show up over the last 2 years since it's been co-sanctioned. You just need to find someone that's in a bit of form and they can probably take it over to, what is it, Keene Club or whatever it's called?
Yeah, in Kentucky.
Filippo Celli is 100 to 1.
Who is Filippo Celli?
Well, he's just this young Italian stud. I think he was the low amateur.
Because you have to be pretty bad to not get into the Scottish.
Yeah, like he isn't good, but he's good at the moment. 10th at the KLM, 10th at the Italian Open, 9th last week. So 3 top 10s in a row. I think he's in great form.
I'll bet him.
Put him in 100 to 1.
What's his name?
Filippo Celli.
I don't even see him on the odds board.
He's if you go on odds checker, he's between Cameron Champ and Garrett Higo.
Okay, I'll bet him. I'm in. He's 60 on other books. He's 100 to 1 on Bet Rivers. I'm in. I bet Thor Bjornsson 20 to 1. Maybe the most obvious bet of all time. Driver putter. Dude, absolutely. What you have to do here. Dude absolutely nukes it off the tee. Great putter. Putted really well. Not really well last week. He gained putting last week. This kid has serious talent. And I don't know why he's so much lower than Clanton. I think Fjord Bjornsson's better.
Yeah.
And 20 to 1, solid number. He's talented, more talented than a lot of these guys. I really do like it. I don't love many other people in the field. Sam Ryder, I'm riding RB on. I like Sam Ryder 55 to 1. Troy Merritt 60.
I thought Hayden Springer was a big price at 50 to 1. Now,
you like Hayden Springer?
I don't know. I wanted to look at this up before I came on, and I didn't because it's already like 11 o'clock at night. I couldn't be bothered. Like, how do people perform the week after they shoot a 59?
Cam Young, I mean, he was pretty solid.
There we go. Like, if we go back through the years, I bet there's someone that's, had a good finish the week after, and the guy's playing well, right? Like, all of a sudden, the guy learned how to play golf in the last 2 weeks. Yeah, I think he's fine, 10th and 7th. You're not going to get many players in that kind of form. That's why I like Filippo Celli. David Micheluzzi is 10th and 2nd the last 2 weeks on DP World Tour. But
no, because last year, this random dude, I don't know who he was, lost in a playoff.
Nathan Kimsey, yeah.
What has he done since?
Nothing. He's basically dead. So, he
But he was in solid form.
He was fine. He played well at the start of the season. Then he went off boil. Then he came back a little bit and then played well in this. And that's why I just think you just ride these Cellis, the Micheluzzis, the people that are just in good form at the time. I think it's just such an easy golf course. If you're playing well, then just do it.
Fuck yeah.
So another couple of candidates like that are, I mean, Andrea Pavan was playing well, but he missed the cut last week when I bet him, so that's typical. Matthias Schwab has been 10th and 27th the last 2 weeks. He's played a decent amount. He must have played here once, I would have thought. Yeah, he missed the cut last year. Good. You'd have to be a bad player to miss the cut here.
That'd be very tough to do.
Yeah. How about, and this, I think the moment's gone with this guy, but didn't Zach Blair have like a little bit of a race?
Yeah, and he was solid last week.
Yeah, and he finished 15th here.
I could be convinced on 100-1 Zach Blair. I think the course might be a little bit long for him, but yeah. I don't hate it.
But like Nathan Kimsey, not a massive hitter.
He's not a bomber.
No, I don't remember him being a bomber. Okay. Norman obviously was, but like,
last two winners have been very long.
But then, like, if we want that, like, Jaden Trey Shaper was 16th here last year, but like, there's just a lot of guys that, like, DP World Tour guys, Adrian Sadier, Rivetto, all this that play well here last year, and this Filippo Celli has got the potential to be better than all of them. So
I'm down. Here's a sick name, 100-1. Like, I'm in. I really think Thor Bjornsson's gonna run away with it, but I'm down to bet some random Euros. I'll go Thor Bjornsson, Ryder, Merritt, Filippo,
yeah, and Jacob Filippo, because I think I could get definitely carried away with some of these, like, but I know he's pretty good on the DP World Tour players, but there's just you'll end up betting all of them. I mean, maybe Sam Jones is a guy for first round leader. He once on the DP World Tour, he went like birdie, albatross, birdie or something to finish first round leader. So he's that type of guy that can do something like that. Sam Jones is like 400-1, I think he is. But yeah, I don't think he's in the field, I think, but I can't see his stats. But yeah, Sam Jones, first round leader, maybe. But yeah, it's just one of those events, right?
It's so bad. I can't even believe how bad the field is. Like, usually I could be like, all right, like, I have some guys I want to bet. Like, no, that's why I just think Thor Bjornsson 20-1. I nuked it. Like, he's 18-1 now. 18 terrible bet, 20 awesome bet. I think he is your winner. He'll be there. So I'm looking forward to that. Liv Valderrama. I don't think I could talk about Liv Valderrama.
No, we don't need to. Is JJ Spawn playing well enough again now to win?
Yes, I think he's a pretty popular pick.
Yeah, there you go.
You like JJ?
Yeah, JJ, Filippo Celli, David Micheluzzi.
Filippo Celli is such a sick name.
Yeah, if I wasn't so English and so uncultured, that would be a great name to say on here. Yeah, I feel like you've got a bit more of an accent in you that you can do it.
He's your winner. I'm convinced of it.
He is.
Yeah, no, I'm in. I'm betting him. So
if we just want big drivers, is Cam Champ, has he done anything recently? No.
I don't think so. I mean, to be 100-1 in this field of stuff, you have to be really bad.
Yeah, I mean, he shot 70-69 at John Deere. That's pretty poor, isn't it? So
yeah,
he is done. Yeah. There's not a whole lot to be inspired about in this event.
No, it's real. Barracuda will be a lot better. I'm hyped for Barracuda. That should be okay.
It's
tough to have an alternate field event where shit people are in the PGA Tour.
It's an alternate event, but there's already a really mixed weak field in the bottom half of the Scottish Open.
Yeah, so it's not great, but it will be what it will be.
Everyone's been Ben Silverman, by the way. Everyone.
I don't know if he's in good form. He's like second favorite. I don't think I could bet you guys at the top. No. But Tom, I want you to get some sleep tonight. I know it's late in England. Thank you so much for coming on.
You're welcome.
I'm excited, and everyone else should be, for your first round leader article this week. It's a great resource. Love it. But there's no real point to it this week because EVR by a touchdown on Thursday.
We might need to do the EVR Filippo Celli
double. Down.
And then
I'm literally down.
And then we can retire.
I'm literally down. I think that's an easy one there. But look, best of luck to Southgate and crew next this Wednesday and
This
hopefully, in the final.
Yeah.
I hope you have a great night. And we have to hit a winner at the Open again. So we'll be consulting and try and find something.
The best time to ask me is on Sunday when we've won the Euros. We'll do some voice notes, get the Open Championship.
Yeah, we good. Get some pints in us and we'll be fine.
Perfect.
Cheers, mate. Everyone have a good night. We'll be back next week for the Open Championship.